Hey guys, how's it going? Well, I'm going to go over a few different things today. First of all, I got my solar panel on yesterday, but it doesn't seem to be doing much. Today I went swimming with my kids at the pool in their condo, and on the way to the pool, I stepped off at the van to get my swimsuit, and I looked at and this is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was hot. I mean, it's like 26 Celsius, and the sun was beaming on the roof. So it should have been saying something, and I got very little information. I need to figure out how to use this solar charge controller. I don't know how to read it properly. Before, I could have swore last year when I was using it in summer, it was like saying 1 or 2 amps, which isn't a lot, but now it's saying nothing. It's saying panel voltage, but it's not giving me any amp readings. I need to figure out how to read this thing properly. If you guys have any ideas about that, which I'm sure you do, please leave a comment below in the comment section. Now, I've had a few people say, what's going on with the battery drain? These wires are connected directly to the battery, and this is just your standard 12 volt meter, and that's what it says, 12.61, and that's what this one says too. 12.6. So I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Now I do have a multimeter. I can lift the bed off and check it, but I'm 90% sure it's going to say the same thing. I will do that. So regarding what's happening with the battery drain, I ran this endless breeze fan 1.18 amps for about 4 hours last week or a little while ago, and even though it started at 12.5, after 4 hours it was at like 12.41, which kind of tells me that I've got quite a bit of juice in there. So 12.4 is 75%. So after 4 hours, it's still at 75%. So that's encouraging. I'm still not 100% sure everything's right with that, but I mean, the cables are obviously charging the battery, because they weren't. It wouldn't go up at all through driving it. Now, on another note, I talked to some very reliable sources, and they tell me that all 6-volt golf cart size batteries are 220 amp hours. So that's what my batteries are. 220 amp hours each, which means I have 440 amp hours altogether, since I have 2 batteries. Now, because of course you can only use your batteries to 50% depletion, that means I really have 220 amp hours and not 110. So that's a good thing. That's definitely something to be pleased about. Now, what I need to do, I would still like to do, is I like to run and in fact I might do that tonight since it's pretty warm. I'm going to get my fantastic fan hooked up, and I'm going to run that thing all night and see what the battery is like in the morning. Is it going to say 12.3? Is it going to say below 12.2? I don't want it to say below 12.2 because I'm damaging the batteries, but... Okay guys, as you can see, it's about 4 o'clock and the panel is getting full sunlight. Now I checked this about 2 hours ago, and it still said 12.5 bulk float. Well, 12.5 is like 80%. And panel voltage 12.4, 12.5. current 0.0 amps. A for amps. Now the battery says full on here, but it's not. Kilowatt hour 0.0. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this charge controller. This is a PWM, I think it's like 10 amps. So this is battery 12.4 volts. Battery thing says full, but it's actually 12.4 is 80%, so, or no, 75%, so I don't know why it's saying full. And this is panel 7.6, that's what the solar panel voltage is. Current is 0.0 amps. At 24H, I think that's the mode it's in, so yeah, it says mode. So that's like you can adjust it and do different things with it. So this is the mode that it's in, and it's, I can keep it like that. This is load, L is 0.0 amps. So this spot right here is to put a load out. And I don't have a load, obviously, there's nothing connected to it. So what I have going on here is I have my solar panel coming in here, and my battery wires are going out and around and down, and then going down there back into the battery. And then I have battery wires coming up and going into the fuse panel. So I'm thinking, is it better to have it that way, or is it better to have it from load to the fuse panel? I think that might be a better idea. Maybe that's what's causing a problem, I don't know, but not sure. If anybody has any ideas on that, let me know. I remember, like I mentioned last year, I had my old van and I had two sets. I had two sets of wires running off the battery. One pair to go to the fuse panel, one pair to go to the charge controller, and it seemed to work okay. But not really sure. So if you have any ideas of any tips or hints or anything about getting my current up, it's never said, ever since I've installed it this last time, it's never said over 0.1 amps. You know, I watched a video the other day of Pneumatic Fanatic, and he's complaining about only getting 10 amps. I don't know how powerful his solar panel is, but I can tell you I've never seen 10 amps ever. So makes me think that, like, if I get 1 or 2 amps, I'm happy. That's what I was getting last year. I was getting like 2 amps at the max. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I mean, it could partially be because this is not an MPPT, which is a better controller, and also partially because I have a flexible panel, which apparently aren't as efficient as either. So maybe I'm gonna have to replace my panel. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's getting to be dusk now, and it still says 6.2 volts. So, I mean, let's take a look outside here. So if you see, it is getting dusk now, and it says 6.2 volts on the panel. So this is what I did on the top here. Put those holes through the roof, and I used some hardware that I found for a door latch. Epoxied that on. That's good to go. That's strong. And I still gotta put Dicor all over this stuff, especially these 2 wire holes. Yep. So there you have it. Progress is being made slowly but surely. If you have any ideas about my charge controller or solar panel, I mean, the panel is a year old, but it should work fine. Not really sure what's going on there. I hope I don't have to buy a new solar panel. That would be a bummer. Now, it is a flexible panel, and I know they're not as efficient as the ones that are encased in glass, but still, it should be giving me more than what I'm getting. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good night.